Hello everyone, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. Once again, keeping in the more recent series that we've been doing, we're going to take a look at a dragon today, and the dragon we're going to look at is the White Dragon, or Draco, Rigidus, Frigidus. Frigidus. Sounds like an ex-girlfriend. Anyways, they are, once again, from the original Monster Manual, and as used with the original Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, which turns 50 years old this year in terms of commercial release. So, let's talk about the White Dragon, or Draco, Frigidus, Rigidus, or Rigidus, Frigidus, one of those. They are uncommon, so not particularly rare, and they are a little bit smaller. They only get up to, I think it's about 30 feet or a little less than 30 feet in length. And they only have 5 to 7 hit dice. Their intelligence is average to low. This is one of the dumber dragons that are out there. It doesn't mean it's any less greedy, so don't get confused on that side, but it is certainly not one of the brilliant lights when it comes to intelligence. Now, these dragons live in frigid Arctic wastelands and mountains. Once again, always in a cavern or underground structure of some kind is where they're going to lair. And there's no question about the fact that in their lair, you have a chance of finding them sleeping. So what about the dragon in this particular case? About 20% of the time, it's capable of speaking. Only about 5% of the time does it actually have the ability to use spells. And the spells are fairly limited. And 60% of the time, you'll find it sleeping off the party from the month before, deep inside its subterranean lair. Now, not being the smartest dragon, like I said, doesn't change the fact that they're very greedy. Because they are somewhat limited intelligence, they don't have the best options when it comes to using intelligence through things like spells and whatnot against you. They only get a first level spell every other age of the dragon. So nothing at the youngest, then one at the next, all the way up through 8. So the maximum number of spells they can have is only 4, and they're first level. Now, once again, that's even, they're not going to be doing spells unless they're able to speak, and only 20% of them speak. Now, of course, the White Dragon hanging out in the Arctic vastness and mountains covered with snow and all this kind of good stuff, their particular breath weapon, in addition to their normal claw bite, is a cone of cold. Now, you get a saving throw. But even as an ancient white dragon, or ancient old white dragon, you're not going to be that tough. Once again, the maximum number of hit dice is 7. And the maximum damage they can do is 7 hit dice. Now, if you're low level, that would be bad. But really, not the most potent dragon out there. Now, in addition to being greedy, they're also evil as all get out. Just like the green dragon or the black dragon, these are all evil dragons. So this is a colored dragon rather than a metallic dragon. So a white dragon, from a dwarf's perspective, not exactly the hardest thing we've run into. They're stupid. They can be tricked. And that's if they talk. Because like dragons, they're dumb and greedy and they think they're smarter than they really are. Now, some of them you have to worry about with that. Things like a red dragon, they're really smart, so you gotta watch yourself with them. But a white dragon, dumb as a post. No issues here whatsoever. As long as you provide a cohesive group attacking them, you should be successful. as a party. Now, from a dwarven perspective, we don't mind the cold. It's not our favorite, but we can handle that. And we don't have any special protection against cold weapons, but they don't have any special protection from our axes. Don't get me wrong. Well played from a DM standpoint, these can be a lot of fun. They're more of a beast than necessarily a cohesive, intelligent attacking force. From a dwarven perspective, not the hardest one to deal with, as I said. And of course, we went out and we talked to our Hornhelm brethren, the DMs and the players, and said, hey, what about the White Dragon? Well, honestly, from the DM standpoint, they rated it about a 5. They didn't find it to be the most difficult one to deal with, and the stupidity made it harder for them to make it more challenging for groups. Once the group got beyond a certain level of experience within the party, once they had enough hit points and so forth, these didn't prove to be very much of an obstacle. Now, from a player standpoint, low-level ones said, yeah, they can be kind of hard, but at least they're stupid, thank God. From the higher-level character standpoint, they said, well, more of a nuisance. We can usually drive them off, get them to flee. We don't have to worry about negotiating with them because they're just not in a good position to negotiate from, generally speaking. Certainly only having 4 first-level spells makes it very challenging, even for an ancient old white dragon, to be much more than a nuisance, frankly, to any moderately powerful party. Now, like I said, from a dwarven standpoint, don't really care. We have definitely run into these before around the underground kingdoms we have that are in the mountain vastness of cold areas, and we can deal with these. They're not that tough. But other races, the elves don't like cold very much. There's a lot of things the elves don't like. It's elvish, I guess. It's the way they are. Any case, they're definitely not going to be the most challenging creature you run into out there when it comes to the 12 dragons that make up the original dragons as they were portrayed in the monster manual for earliest days of advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So, really, looking at this, not that tough. Can be fun, but kind of a moderate one. At least it gives you something to use if you get stuck in an area as a DM trying to create monster encounters or wandering encounters when your party is traveling through the mountains and so forth. That gives you something to work with. Really, from a party standpoint, yeah, it's not hard to be prepared for them. They only are a one-trick pony. It's really the cone of cold, and that's it. Other than normal draconic, yeah, I bite you and swipe my claws at you. Doesn't mean that they're a pushover, but they're about as close to a pushover as a specific color of dragon gets. So that's our view of the white dragon. And we hope you found this interesting, educational, informational, fun, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, do us a favor and please give us a like, consider subscribing, share with your friends, but most of all, come back and see us again sometime soon. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!